Yo, what's up, YouTube, man? It's your boy, Action Jackson, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the 53-man roster. I am making this Monday night, and I'm going to be basically um, going off the article. Shout out to Cowboys Wire, and who wrote the article was Katie Drummond. I'm going to be talking about that and analyzing the roster, and somewhat giving an opinion on whether I agree with his cuts, disagree, whatever the case might be. So before we hop into the video, I would appreciate if you guys would like the video, subscribe if you are new, comment and share my video with anyone who think will enjoy my content. And remember, I am still doing the 1,000 giveaway to my subs. You guys, of course, you guys give me to 1,000. I'll be giving $100 giveaway, a gift card of your guys' choice. So hopping straight into it. Of course, so we know that we are going to be carrying 3 quarterbacks. 2 quarterbacks count against the official 53-man roster. And the third one is a quarterback that he won't count against it. But in case something happens to your first 2 quarterbacks, the third quarterback's able to step up and play in that game. But he can only play, of course, if something happens, right? So Katie Drummond had the first 3 quarterbacks being Dak Prescott, Cooper Rush, Trey Lance, in that order, right? And he did have the man getting cut will be Will Greer. Now, will it happen? Probably so, but if, for my opinion, I feel like Will Greer should be quarterback 2 over Cooper Rush because we get so frustrated, you and I, when we watch Cooper Rush play, right? Plenty of times when we saw Cooper Rush get so timid and not want to throw the ball downfield to our playmakers, even though we didn't have a whole lot of playmakers on the outside other than CeeDee Lamb. But Cooper Rush looked timid out there when he would go out there and play. Yes, there will be the times when he'd throw the occasional deep ball, like week 3 against the New York Giants to CeeDee Lamb when he caught, across the middle. The one-handed grab. There's sometimes with Cooper Rush he will be aggressive, but there's other times, more likely than not, where he's very, very, very safe and keeping it very close to the chest, right? So I wanted Will Greer to be quarterback 2, and I feel like Will Greer would have been quarterback 2 had he played consistently like how he did in that Raider game. Great play calling by Dak Prescott once again, but again, if Will Greer played like that consistently, Will Greer will for sure be on this roster. We don't trade our 4th-round pick to get Trey Lance, but I love that we got Trey Lance anyway. We'll be fine. And I think the odd man out will be Will Greer, but for me, it'll be Cooper Rush because Will Greer will be quarterback 2. And don't forget, Will Greer was selected in the 3rd round in the 2019 draft. So, running backs, we are going to carry 4. And I do agree with what he's saying. Tony Pollard as your running back 1, Rico Dowdle running back 2, Deuce Vaughn running back 3, Hunter Lepke 4. Lepke had an amazing performance on Saturday against the Las Vegas Raiders. Hunter Lepke is definitely a guy that needs to be on this roster. We spent, not we, but the Dallas Cowboys, they spent money to make sure that they keep Lepke on the roster. So this is definitely a guy that you definitely need to keep around. Deuce Vaughn's going to get special team reps, but he's also going to be a guy that's going to be that relief pitcher because Pollard and Dowdle are both going to be guys that receive carries, and then Deuce Vaughn is going to be that reliever for when both of those guys need to get a rest, right? And we have special packages, I'm pretty sure, that we're going to use with Deuce Vaughn, which is going to be fine. Now, one thing I want to say in the video before I go further into the roster, whatever player does not get kept, like I think a person who might get cut on this roster is like Simi Fehoko. If we can trade him for like a 7th-round draft pick, a 6th-round draft pick, and get some sort of draft capital for him, I would love that because next year's draft we only have our 1st, 2nd, and 3rd-round picks. We don't have our 4th through 7th. Do I really care about the roster building right now? Not really, because we're competing to play for championships this season and next season. But I know the Dallas Cowboys, they love their draft compensation. So I can definitely see the Dallas Cowboys also trading guys who have potential trade value and trade them for picks. So don't be surprised if we see a couple guys get traded for picks tomorrow, which I will cover tomorrow. So again, the 4 backs that we are keeping are Tony Pollard, Rico Dowdle, Deuce Vaughn, Hunter Lepke. Which the cut to go to practice squad will be Malik Davis, and the person who just won't make the roster entirely is Ronald Jones. Wide receiver, he has us keeping 5, and I was thinking about it before I even started doing the video of counting, where I was counting who's going to be on the roster, and the 5 checks out, right? You're going to have CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup, Jalen Tolbert, and Kevontae Turpin. Who goes to the practice squad, if they make it to the practice squad, right, would be Jalen Brooks, Dontario Drummond, and Jalen Marino Cropper. That's a guy. Cropper is definitely a guy I can potentially see get picked up by somebody. I'm not sure who at the moment. Maybe the Niners. Just because he went to Fresno State, that's why I'm talking about the Niners anyway. Raiders, same situation. Any of those Bay Area teams or Vegas Raiders now, I can see them getting picked up by them, the Rams, but I hope he's able to stay safe on the practice squad. That's a guy I see potentially getting picked up. Jalen Brooks, um, I believe he will make the practice squad, but the five I do see, because you're for sure going to have four wide receivers who can definitely play for you. With Gallup, Cooks, Lamb, and Tolbert, Kevontae Turpin is going to be, again, that relief guy. Needs a breather or whatever the case might be. Brandon Cooks, whoever needs a breather, but we're going five wide. Kevontae Turpin will be out there. And cut is Simi Fehoko. That's definitely a guy that I just said that can be traded for any sort of draft compensation. I'll definitely take it. Dennis Houston, him getting cut's kind of tough, but has to happen. Jose Barbin cut. Tyron Johnson going to get cut. I agree with those. We are going to keep three tight ends on the roster. Last time we kept four was around, like, I believe 2018. 2019 was the last time we kept four tight ends on the roster, but more than likely we're going to keep three, right? That's going to be Jake Ferguson, Luke Schoonmaker, Peyton Hendershot in that order for me. Jake Ferguson is going to get the start. Peyton Hendershot could be tight end too, but when you're coming in the 12 personnel, which is two tight ends and one running back for people who are unaware of the personnel groupings in the NFL, I could see Schoonmaker being tight end too, only because he does really, really well in blocking scenarios. Hendershot is no slouch at all, but I can see the Cowboys liking Schoonmaker a lot more. Practice squad will be Sean McEwen. Season-ending IR, of course, John Stevens. Hate to hear that, but somebody who's not going to make the roster in general will be Seth Green, Princeton Fant. Offensive tackle, we're going to have Tyron Smith. Your front five is already solidified. We're not going to be talking about that. We are going to be talking about the guys who will be backup swings, right? In case you guys don't know who the front five is going to be, when healthy, which we're all going to be healthy, Tyron, Tyler, Biotish, Martin, Steele, those are your five. Now let's talk about backups. Matt, let's go on the team. Uh, Practice squad, Earl Bostic, Alex Taylor, who's a person who's not going to make the roster. In general, will be Chuma Idoga. Interior offensive line. They're predicting that we're going to keep seven. That, of course, I already talked about Martin, Smith, and Biotish. Fournier, Austin Richards, Bass. Richards, Bass, both young guys who have performed or balled out in the preseason. Both didn't allow any sacks nor pressures. Both Bass really great, pass pro, and also in the run game. Richards can work on that, but I felt like more than likely, really, against when he's playing against power guys, those are going to be guys I give him a little bit of troubles. But I think Austin's going to be fine. Development during the season, we're going to be fine. I love the guys that we do have interior wise. You don't want to see Fournier playing. You don't want to see Austin or Bass playing unless the inevitable happens and Tyron goes down, right? Making it, but moving to IR is Josh Ball. He's going to make the roster, guys. Going to practice squad will be Alec Lindstrom. Cut would be Brock Hoffman. Defensive end, we're going to be very, very deep at that spot. KD, he has us, KD Drummond, he has us carrying five defensive ends, right? So he's going to have us with, of course, DeMarcus Lawrence, Dorrance Armstrong, Sam Williams, Dante Fowler, Isaiah Land. Isaiah Land, I feel like for sure has to make the roster because he's not going to be a guy that when you let go of, he's going to be able to make practice squad. You cut him, he goes through waivers. It's not going to happen, guys. We need to keep Isaiah Land on the roster. He's been very well. If you guys care about PFF grades, he's been doing really well. He had a really good game against the Seattle Seahawks, solid in Jacksonville, and again, solid in the last preseason game against the Vegas Raiders by causing some pressures, right? People were getting cut. Darrell Johnson, Ben, Banogu. Defensive tackles, Mozzie for sure. Jonathan Hankins for sure. Osa, Junior Fehoko, and Chauncey Golson. Guys that are potentially, if they make the practice squad, will be Neville Gallimore, Quentin Bohanna, But if they make the practice squad and we don't have to worry about them getting taken, then I am fine. But I think Neville Gallimore, if he does get cut, I don't think he's going to make waivers. That's my thing, because it's a process. You get cut, then waivers. Will Quentin Bohanna make it through waivers, make it back to Dallas? Yes. Neville Gallimore, not really, because he definitely had a resurgence this year in preseason. Always was a good guy. We selected him in the third round in the 2020 draft. For sure, he wasn't a terrible dude, but just that defensive line room has been packed, and he hasn't really separated himself from the pack. So if he does make it a practice squad, we'll be blessed, but I don't see that happening. That's why I wanted to trade him for any draft compensation if we can get it. But Katie has him making it to the practice squad, right? Linebacker, we will keep 4. Your 4 is going to be Harper, Clark, Van Der Esch, Parsons. We know Parsons. We know what he's going to be. He's going to be our he's going to be our specialty player. Defensive end, if he does play linebacker, it's going to be over the A gap, over the center's nose. We're going to be all right. But we'll be back. We'll be Malik Jefferson, possibly on the active roster. We don't know. Practice squad for sure will be Tyrus Wheat and Jabril Cox. Those, Jabril, I just don't think he's going to be that guy that we projected him to be, guys. I just think he's going to end up just being just another guy for us. I don't think Jabril Cox is going to be that fully broken out player that we wanted him to be, right? I just think that was just a miss in our opinion. And then cornerbacks, we're carrying 6, right? Your 4 is already solidified, with that being Trayvon Diggs, Stephon Gilmore, DaRon Bland, Jordan Lewis, right? Now, I do see us keeping Kelvin Joseph because he was a second-round pick. He did a lot better this year in the preseason, only allowing a passer rating of 36.1, having a really great grade in the slot. I think we just found him being our slot guy, and him being a rotational dude, and just him being a specialty player or role player is fine. Of course, you select him in the second round. You want him to be your number 2 corner, but things didn't pan out, right? Things happen. But of course, like I already said, Diggs, Gilmore, Bland, Lewis on the roster, Scott, Kelvin Joseph. Carrying those around your 5, 6 you're going to keep, right? Going to make the roster, but probably going to hold them on IR, slap them with a fake injury. Nashawn Wright's going to stay around. Going to the practice squad will be Josh Butler, and Miles Brooks is who they have getting officially cut. Safety. You already know the 4 safeties are going to be around on this roster. You got your 3 with Donovan and Malik, J-Ron. Izzy, he's going to be that cornerback safety hybrid. Depending on the matchup, he's going to play safety, in-box safety, or he might play nickel slot corner. Marquise Bell is going to be getting some linebacking roles. So will Wanye Thomas. Going to pup on season-ending IR will be Red Wine, Tyler Coyle. Practice squad getting cut for not making the roster will be D'Angelo Mandel. Special teams, of course, CJ Goodwin is going to be on there. Brian Anger, Brandon Aubrey. Now we don't know what's going to happen with the kicker spot officially. Are we bringing in any of the veteran kickers? We're not sure yet. But Brandon Aubrey has been pretty solid for you, and he is young. So if the Dallas Cowboys want to keep him around, they'll keep him around. But I think I want to be proactive and get one of your veterans like Crosby gold for sure. More likely Crosby, because he's probably going to be a kicker that can kick on the kickoffs. But I, in fact, would like to have gold if possible. And that's about it, really. Again, most of your positions are mostly locked in. The only time that we're talking about, real in-depth analysis of the roster is more than likely our backups, which I'm not too concerned about. And of course, anybody that has it that is of trade value, you're going to have to cut them. I'm more inclined the Dallas Cowboys should be able to find trade partners and trade them away for any draft compensation. That's about it for the video. Hope you guys have a nice day. Stay safe, stay blessed. Bye.